have to bring this up. A couple episodes ago, we discussed the movie Fargo, and we discussed who we thought the protagonist was.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I've brought up in the past is protagonists can usually be identified by whoever's driving the action because they have a goal, and that's driving the story and the action.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a true definition, and it's accurate, usually. But a lot of people argue that Marge is the protagonist of Fargo because she's the only one with like moral grounding that pushes the story forward in that way. And also, yeah, like you mentioned, she's at the end with the climax, solving all the problems, taking out the last kidnapper and then getting Jerry arrested. So you had a very good perspective and argument. I definitely was caught up in thinking, well, Jerry's the one doing the things to set things in motion. So they say there can be, as I did more research looking into it, there can be characters that, cause a lot of the action to happen, but they're not necessarily the protagonist. Now, that drove me deeper to looking into stories and things because we also talked about story versus characters. So a story-driven movie, is more driven by the plot rather than like the characters themselves. I think Dunkirk would be a good example of that, right? We're not really getting into the emotional meat of any of the characters or their background very much. At least the main ones.
Right.
Which is kind of funny. We almost get into the minor characters more.
Mm-hmm.
With like the father and his son. And the son we never meet that died. But, whereas something like, I don't know, like the Joker, I guess, would be like very character driven, right? Because it's about his backstory and blah, blah, blah.
There's not really much story happening, really. It's just him kind of losing it.
Well, yeah, it could still be a story, but like the main focus, is like getting into their person's mind and their emotions and their backstory and what they're wanting to do and things.
Right.
But the interesting thing I found was like, actually, that people argue over with like Fargo and another movie I'm going to bring up is it's actually a hybrid where really Marge, it is kind of a character movie because everything we learn about her is very like intimate. It's like her and her husband. We see her doing her job, investigating in different things, but we're almost spending even more time in bed with her and her husband, showing their like life and what things are like for them.
Yeah.
But then we also have the Jerry Lundegaard thing that sets a lot of like the more story-driven movie into it. The reason I want to bring all this up is because it also ties back into our episode of No Country for Old Men. They're the same filmmakers. The Coen brothers made Fargo, and they made No Country for Old Men.
Mm.
And a big problem that I had initially and then you had when we watched it is like, well, the protagonist dies, like our main character dies, and it's just kind of different, right?
Yeah.
And then we also even tried to identify if he had an arc, and I was like, I don't think he does. I think like he had a chance to be the thing he needed to be, and he doesn't, and that's what gets him in trouble and ends up getting him killed.
Right.
And then for people for that movie, they argue Tommy Lee Jones, the sheriff, is like kind of the protagonist, kind of like Marge, where he's the one with the moral grounding that actually is trying to get things.
It's interesting that they directed those movies because they're both, now that you're mentioning it, they're very similar.
Right?
You have the main character who we think is the main character who's actually a moron and ruins everything. Then you have the sheriff that comes in and kind of saves the day, but the sheriff doesn't learn something.
Right. Yeah.
They solve the problem because they're awesome.
Right. I would say for No Country for Old Men, obviously, like, is it Leon or Llewellys or something? I can't remember. The main character, or not the main character, but the main guy we're following from the beginning, he's a much cooler character. Like, Jerry's great. Like, he's a very good, well-acted character, but obviously, like, we were rooting for Llewellyn.
True. That's very true. Where you're not really rooting for Jerry.
No, because he's
a freaking
right ideas to get his wife kidnapped.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our introduction. Welcome back to Real Legends Podcast. I'm your host, Bo.
I'm Dan.
And tonight's movie is The Mask of Zorro.
What a film, dude. This is a fun movie. Very, very fun.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it was fun.
I feel like I actually, having been years and years since I've seen it, I had a fun time with it.
Yeah.
It was a good watch.
Yeah, I agree. And that's it, folks.
Thanks for joining us. Yep. Go check it out and see you on the tippity top.
That was good. Got me there with the tippity top. Got me there.
Couldn't steal your line.
No, you got
it. Modify it. Yeah, what more could you ask for? Action, freaking practical effects and explosions.
Oh my gosh, dude, the
beautiful
sets,
women.
The sets and the practical effects are actually wild in this movie.
That's what I noticed big. I was like, holy crap, they put a lot of money in.
Dude, movies from the 90s and early 2000s, they just, like, half of their budget must just have been gasoline.
Gasoline. I don't know if that's what they use, but yeah.
It just blows stuff up.
$95 million movie in 1998.
I'm pretty sure they use gasoline for this kind of stuff. Because on Mythbusters, when they talk about like the big explosions they do in Hollywood, they talk about specifically that they use gasoline because it burns so hot and it makes such big flames that it makes the explosions look really cool.
Okay.
But if you actually want to blow something up in an effective way, you use dynamite or C4, and there's not like a big flame.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, when Mythbusters, when Mythbusters would do these big like experiments of stuff, they would blow stuff up and they'd say, just so you guys know, this is not going to be a massive explosion because we're using C4.
Right. So it's just,
most movies,
it's all bang, no flame.
Yeah, most movies use gasoline.
Gotcha.
Just like the Joker.
Good insight. What about the Joker?
The Joker.
I've never seen
The Dark Knight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, where he pours gasoline.
What does he say?
He's like, you know what these have in common? They're all cheap.
They're all cheap. Yeah, exactly.
Gasoline and what is it? Cigarettes or guns or
I can't remember
something. Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. This is a classic from my childhood / growing up, watching it with the fam and things. And I remember going to see this movie. At least I kind of remember. I just remember liking it, being very entertained, and yeah, I'm glad we got to have some fun with it tonight. Do you have any other initial thoughts about the film before we get into spoilers?
It's for what it is, it's perfect. Like it's the perfect hero action western like fun movie
with some romance thrown in there.
There has to be.
And the guys.
Great
using
music.
Real sets, they're like at the mine and people are talking and it's behind them. You can just tell when it's like CGI versus a real set, and it just looks so good.
And then all of like the massive scene with I don't know how much we can share, but the huge scene when they're dancing and stuff, like those are all people. And they're all in outfits and they're in this massive building.
State House manor.
This is so good looking. It just looks awesome.
Yeah. I can't ever not bring it up when I see it, because we go back and forth from watching some newer movies and older movies. And I mean, you just look at it, like you see these shots with people and it's just like
tons of extras.
The faces of the people too.
Yeah.
Something I learned about the difference, because my brother brought it up actually. He was like, well, why would anyone shoot on film still? There's a couple of reasons. Like one, the sun isn't as harsh on film as it is on digital. So when you're shooting outdoors, it kind of rolls off a little more lightly. It's not as harsh. Like if you're on a digital camera and you're in the bright sunlight, even when you take your settings down to not be so exposed to the sun, it's so much hotter and brighter on the screen, but film is a little softer with the light. So that's a benefit.
I definitely like the way that older movies look like this. Like it looked really good.
Yeah. And then another reason is like when you're on film and every time you roll the camera it costs money, then there's just a lot more intention, because everyone's got to be on their game, whether you're lighting or you're the actor or whatever. Like anytime we're going to roll the camera, this is going to cost us money to pay for the film. So we better be on our game.
Yeah.
And it's just I just think the attitude and tempo is just a little different, because digital, it's like, erase it. Let's do more. Let's just take as many takes as we need. It's not going to really affect the budget. Only time affects the budget. Yeah. Looks great. Thought everyone in the cast did pretty good. And I think we'll just move into spoilers unless you have any movie news.
That's it.
Take us away with what you liked, loved, and hated.
I loved the sword fighting. It's actually super, like, they're hitting each other's swords and they're like, wham. Like, you can tell sometimes when you watch a movie, like, you know, they're clearly acting like they hit each other's swords and it's not with like full intention.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are whacking each other's swords like super hard. And so every sword scene, and that's most of what the action was sword fighting, was really like, wow, these guys really want to hurt each other. Like, really, really want to hurt each other. And I thought that was awesome because I love it when you watch a movie and you feel like it's not a movie. Like you're watching something that's happening in real life, or like you're watching history.
Yeah.
And it's like this feels like someone would actually be fighting with this much ferocity and intensity. And so I thought that, like, right off the bat, I was like, wow, the amount of like just pure effort that goes behind one of the swings was really cool. I also love that he's basically just like Mexican Batman when Mexico was cool.
Wow.
And I really loved the music, the Spanish style.
Music's
like,
very good.
Fun music was so good and perfect for every single scene. Like I was always listening to it and I was like, oh yes, this is exactly what I wanted for this. It's just like very good music.
Some good old hoedown music.
The classic American, you know. I think it's interesting because the movie also straddles this line between being sometimes really serious, like when he pulls the jar out and it's got his brother's head.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, that's a brutal scene. And then he drinks it. I'm like, oh
yeah,
this is tough to like kind of like a hard scene to watch. And then the next scene, you know, he's cutting off this girl's shirt. It's just like it bounces back between being like, dang, this is a brutal kind of like badass movie, to being like, this is kind of a silly...
Yeah, almost like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. A little like high fantasy adventure. Or like, yeah.
I would say that I actually didn't love that. Because, like...
Those parts?
I would rather if it just kind of had kept the same vibe of like, this is a serious movie. But then when they would do like, I don't know, like the first scene when he's Zorro and he goes and he like breaks into the barracks.
Yeah.
And he just beats everybody like easily, and the horse is like doing a bunch of the work, and it's just like,
yeah.
And he just sucks, but he still wins. I'm like, really? I don't know. That's kind of silly.
Yeah.
It feels a little goofy sometimes. I think that's my biggest critique.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, definitely. I saw moments of that where like he's fighting in the manor and he kind of gets cornered by everyone, and he's up by the big map.
Yeah.
And then they like all run at him and he runs sideways, cuts the map, but no one like chases him sideways. They just keep running straight where he used to be standing.
Yes.
And it's like, that's like a moment for me, like when I was complaining about like Rogue One when she's fighting with the batons. It's like,
yeah,
you can do something like that, but just do it in a way that at least it makes sense.
Yep. And then the next scene after that, the map is back up and it's not damaged.
Yeah,
but
which
whatever.
That's fine if they want to put it back up. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for sure.
But I do agree. Like there's a few scenes where you feel like that, where you're like, this feels a little too stormtroopy. Like these guys should be capable, and he has like no experience. He only trained with this guy like a little bit, and
I think we're supposed to believe that he trained quite a bit. I mean, because from going from where he can't really fight at all to like he's very good. The montage is very short, which in some ways is a good thing, because then we don't have to like okay, like you're training, we get it. But I think it could have somehow maybe shown time passing a little better.
I agree, actually.
So that it could seem like, oh, he's been training for like 6 months with him.
Because it doesn't feel like it does. It kind of feels like he just jumps right in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
and I was watching that this time because I was like, oh, wow, like we're already done with the montage?
I was too. I was like, he's already going in? What?
Yeah.
Then he goes in and he kind of loses, but then he like wins, but he does it like...
Because before he goes in, he fights the old Zorro in the training center, like the very last training thing, and he beats him and takes his sword from him, right? He like disarms him and catches his sword.
Right.
And so like we're supposed to believe that he's gotten very good.
Right.
Because he couldn't even touch him before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they could have done a little better at like showing time passing there.
I agree, actually.
That would have been helpful. would have been a feather in their cap, as they say.
There was a few other moments. I'm trying to think about what they were that kind of felt like a little bit just a little goofy. I think the scene where she's confessing is also kind of silly. Oh, I had impure thoughts about this guy, and he's just like, oh yeah, just like,
Say
okay,
more.
Come on.
Was he wearing a black mask?
Yeah, it's just like, okay, you got to include the romance. I understand, I get it. She's also stunning, so
stunningly beautiful.
She's so attractive.
Yes,
Catherine Zeta-Jones
in her prime.
Holy snap.
Senorita.
She was.
I gotta say.
She was really, really attractive.
Yeah. Did you expect because you had never seen this movie, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So did you expect the beginning when it starts with the older Zorro and then he ends up like his wife dies and he gets thrown in prison? Like, where were you expecting to go from there?
I actually,
were you going to think it was still going to be about him?
The first time I saw Zorro, like the character, I was like, dang, this guy's kind of old. You could see the wrinkles in like the sides of his eyes. You could see like his mouth is a little wrinkly. Like he had kind of like a saggy neck. I'm like, this guy's doing flips and jumping off stuff. Like he's going to break his hip any second now. And so I actually did think that it was going to go like he was going to train somebody to like take his place. And he was going to give them the mask of Zorro to become
so
his
you kind
replacement.
of saw it coming.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Because as I watched it, I was like, yeah, the beginning's kind of crazy. Like, we meet Zorro, but then his wife dies, his mortal enemy takes his daughter, and he goes to prison.
Which, by the way,
is
like absolutely brutal. That you steal your enemy's kid, and raise them as your own. That's like worse than killing them.
Yeah, which I think is very intentional.
It's insane.
Yeah, that guy's a freaking whack job, dude.
Yeah,
he will do anything just to be in power.
Yeah.
And slaves, killing people, taking their kids. He doesn't give a fetch about anyone.
It's very interesting because, so I've gone to Mexico now 7 times, and I've learned a lot about Mexican history. And it really was just like a series of horrible events. Like American history, we look at it as like pretty much a series of positive things, like Revolutionary War, positive, we get away with from England. Civil War, positive, we get away from slavery. World War II, positive, we defeat Nazism. Cold War, positive, we defeat communism. Like, we have all these like positive historical moments. Mexico has one, and it's when they throw the Spanish off. But after the Spanish leave, it's like this the rest of the history. You have one group coming in and they want to take control. So they do for a minute. That person gets assassinated. He breaks up the land. All the rich people, like, it's this never-ending cycle. I think I remember reading this, that in the time that we had, I think it was 3 presidents, Mexico had 58 different presidents, because their country is so unstable and so messy because of the way that the Spaniards settled it. And then also just because the people that lived there had no sense of what a democracy or republic or any of that kind of stuff was. And so because they threw the Spaniards out too. So it was like, you have this terrible country where everyone's poor and the Spaniards are in charge, and then you throw the Spaniards out. And then you have this terrible country where everyone's poor and you have the Dons in charge. Yeah. And it's like this never ending fight.
Someone's going to try to take power.
Yeah. And so this was really interesting to see, kind of like, from an American perspective, you see kind of how like Mexico, and obviously I think this is a fiction, but like everything was dramatized, but it's very similar actually. Like Mexican history is very similar to this, is where you have one group of people that are controlling everything, they get thrown off, and then the next group comes in, and it's like this never-ending cycle of like people just getting wrecked and having like no rights and no way of getting ahead. And like constant exploitation of other people, constant exploitation of resources. So it was actually kind of interesting to watch from like a historical brain, because I think they do it pretty good justice here. Like, it's not a perfect story, but it is a great example, whether it's fictional or not, of Mexican history.
Interesting. Yeah, that's good to have that perspective. I didn't know too much about that. Freaking nerd.
I knew that was coming. I had to go in my history rant.
There it is.
That was the part that interested me the most, actually. I was like, this is so cool, because I know that.
Well, it's good. I'm glad we have your perspective, actually. Because I have zero of that bringing in. I'm just going to talk about Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Holy cow, dude.
Some of the things I liked, loved, and hated. Yeah, sword fighting and action was great. Yeah, the intensity behind the fighting, like you mentioned, it's really there.
Yeah.
And I thought choreographed and swordsmanship was great. I do kind of like this idea of like starting the movie off just initially, right? It starts off with like the unrest of the people and Zorro coming to save the day, but quickly gets into like his mortal enemy shows up at his house, finds out he's Zorro, kills his wife on accident, takes his baby, he's thrown in prison. It's just like, dang, what's going to happen now? And in that moment, even through all that too, we already get introduced to our future Zorro as a child, as a kid, and his brother. Very good setup. Because then everything just ties in with the next phase of the new Zorro coming to be, right?
Yeah.
Because we already have met everyone.
Yeah. Also, his brother shooting himself in the heart was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another scene that I'm talking about with, like, that's pretty heavy. That's, like, an intense thing to do. Just, like, take out a pistol and blow your heart out.
Yeah. That's
you see the whole thing, too.
It's so interesting that we had that time. I don't know. Do you feel like movies are like that today where they straddle the line between like more serious and dark and like goofy?
No, I don't think they do. I think that they straddle the line between like serious and dark and like retarded, like The Gorge. The Gorge like tries to be serious and dark and then ends up just being stupid.
I feel like as we've watched some films and just looking back in general, because I'm like used to these movies, I feel like they used to be just more of this where I look back as an adult, even comedies, like I was at the gym the other day and The Mask was on. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's a Jim Carrey movie. But like that movie is like super goofy, right? Because it's the whole mask thing. But then there's some very like adult things in that like, too, where it's just like
freaky.
Whoa. I'm like, I watched this as a kid, and it's like, yeah, the kid stuff appealed to me, and I guess the more dark stuff appealed to my older siblings or my parents. I don't know.
That's why we're retarded. This is we watched The Mask growing up. We watched Flubber.
Flubber was a little. I didn't really watch Flubber. I remember seeing Flubber.
Stupid movie.
Yeah, freaking Jim Carrey. What a wacko.
Yeah,
but
I think though, like, let's take Project Hail Mary for a minute.
Okay.
I actually think Project Hail Mary doesn't straddle that line well at all. I think it goes way too far into the goofy, silly, non-stakes, not scary stuff.
Right, because like, it doesn't really venture far into like the serious or dark.
The only time that it ventures into the dark twice, and both times it ends up not mattering. Like Rocky almost dies. You think it dies, but he doesn't. And then our main character smashes his face against the, I don't remember his name. Grace smashes his face against the terminal, and you think he's probably dead, but then ends up being fine too. And it's like, but then the rest of the movie, Grace is like, oh yeah, I'm kind of a goofy scientist guy.
Why wasn't there a moment where Grace had to eat Rocky?
Exactly. Chop up his freaking rock arm and eat it.
Make a soup out of it.
Rock soup, dude. Have some freaking Rocky Road ice cream. I knew there was a joke in there.
Oh man, we are retarded.
It's all because of the mask, dude.
It's all because of the mask and the gorge. Just right full circle.
Oh, dude.
We've come full circle.
I was not this stupid before I watched The Gorge.
I love how we brought that joke back up.
My gosh.
The Gorge.
It's a classic.
Okay. More other things I liked, loved, and hated. I loved Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Holy cow.
No, let's be serious for a second. It's interesting, Anthony Hopkins. I don't really know his like ethnic background.
Technically, Spaniards are white. I'll be honest.
Okay, true. So, but what's his background? Sorry,
he's British.
Just English and Welsh, I guess. I just don't think he looked Spanish. Okay, we'll just say that.
Yeah.
We'll just.
Well, they definitely did a good job. Like,
but he did a good job.
With Antonio Banderas, like he's obviously the most like Spaniard-looking kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like Anthony Hopkins with his big blue eyes and his British accent. It was like,
British accent.
that's kind of weird. That's not exactly right.
He does, as far as like the narrative of this story where like her father has a very soothing voice and she remembers it, and that's mentioned in the movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect, because his voice is very like iconic and soothing, I think. But
Gay.
Anything that I hated about the movie or had a problem with? Yeah, just maybe some of the goofy moments. I don't think there's anything else I really hated or disliked about the movie necessarily.
I agree.
Thought the pacing was good. Action was good. The story we'll get into when we ask these story questions, but overall I liked it.
Yeah.
So let's just do it. Unless you have any other thoughts about likes, loves, or hates. Yeah. Whose story is it? What do they want? What do they need? And does the movie make us care?
I think you could make two arguments here. One, it's Alejandro, and one, it's Don Diego. Alejandro, he wants revenge from his brother, but he needs to train and be calm and become good enough to actually fight his enemies.
Yeah, or like good enough to be a servant of the people, right? Like to be able to accomplish more than just get your revenge.
Yeah. I actually kind of wish they would have dove more into that, because I like kind of the sage teachings of Don to Alejandro, where he's like, never come at an enemy in anger.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of a cool thing, and I kind of wanted him to like explore that a little bit more, like where he does come at an enemy in anger and he loses, and then like he has to like kind of like learn to like trust his feelings and be able to like, you know, stay focused,
or
kind
put
of like
aside his feelings,
like a freaking Jedi Knight. Yeah.
No, when you said that, I was thinking, yeah, it would have been cool to see a little more of the wisdom be passed on.
I agree.
Some other lessons, life lessons that Diego learned that could help Alejandro. Because that one's a good one, right? Like, yeah, don't attack in anger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not going to do you any favors.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think if there are any other ones, really. I mean, I guess you could say, like, when he tells him, like, you know, it's not explicit, but he's, after he goes and steals the horse, he's like, hey, look at this. This is awesome. He's like, you know, like, Zorro's not a thief and a vagabond. Like, he's a servant of the people.
Yeah.
So, like, you need to, like, the name's got to, like, represent that and be that, or else you're just going to be kind of a nobody, right? You got to be doing things that are, like, for the service of others and not for yourself.
Yeah, and I think one of the best scenes in the movie is when he's at the mine and he sees all these enslaved people, and you can, like, really see it in him, where it's like, this is exactly what Don Diego was talking about. Like, if you embed yourself in the right place and you're patient, the time will come when you can serve the people. And that's when he's like, oh my gosh, okay, I found it. And that's like his whole objective.
Yeah, I like that. And he goes back to, like, the Bat Cave, the Zorro Cave, and
the Fox Den.
Yeah, the Fox's Den. Yeah, and he's pretty torn up about it. He's like, the people are dying. Like, Diego's trying to explain, like, the next phase of the plan. He's just like, dang, this is a lot. People are just getting enslaved and being dying. And he, like, misses his brother. And even in that moment, Diego's pretty harsh with him, and he's like, you got to put that aside.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got to keep moving and, you know, help all these people.
Yeah. But you could make the case that it's Don Diego's story, that he wants to have a peaceful life, and he ends up, like,
gets torn away from him.
Yeah, and then he kind of, like, wants revenge, but then at the end he needs to just, like, see his daughter, maybe. So I think it probably is more Alejandro's story.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we definitely see, like, Alejandro more have an arc, whereas Diego, I don't know. Does he really change at all, or is he pretty much the same guy throughout?
He goes from wanting to help the people and to train Alejandro to kind of his own interests, where he's like, I need to see Elena. I need to, like, save her.
Yeah. Which would almost be, like, not an arc, right?
Yeah.
would be kind of like a digress in a way.
Yeah, like he goes back to his original want.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with us discussing Alejandro, I would probably put my
I agree.
chips behind him for the
Me too.
protagonist. Well, did the movie make you care?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You want him to succeed?
Goes from a drunkard to someone who can actually help and be a benefit to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And dang, he probably had to get a lot of training on being graceful, because he goes into that party and he just is like
an absolute
suavecito.
Oh yeah, dude, an absolute Chad.
A joke at your expense, but I hope it'll not be the last.
A shameless joke at your expense. I sure hope it's not the last.
But I sure hope it's not the last.
Dude, I just feel bad for Elena, bro. Imagine losing both your dads on the same day.
We gotta talk about Captain Love for just a second.
The American?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the heck?
Dude. American villain?
Dude. That ain't right.
That guy's a whack job.
Yeah, he is actually a genocidal maniac.
Yeah.
And it's weird because he's still wearing his like American
cavalry
outfit, which is like, take that off. You do not represent us.
It's kind of strange that he's wearing that, because I feel like it doesn't make sense, because he's not like he's there on behalf of the US or something, but yet he's wearing the uniform.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's a mercenary.
Right.
And so I kind of wish they would have maybe like had him, maybe he still had his cavalry sword, and like you can see like, oh, he's former cavalry or something.
Yeah.
But he had like a different outfit overall.
Yeah, I agree.
Or even like was taking up,
because the whole time I thought, I was like, are the Americans working with him or something? No, they weren't. He was just kind of doing his own thing with heads in jars.
Yeah, hands.
Yeah,
he talks about how drinking that to the friggin' Peruvian natives.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, I thought this was a fun movie. I can't quite give it a super high rating just because of the goofiness of it. I want to give it like a 7.75, but I know that's against the rules, so I'll give it an 8. And I would say it's a legend.
I think I'd fall a 7.5 on this movie. If it didn't have the goofy moments, like in some moments that, we talked about. Excuse me, I had to burp. If it didn't have like some of those goofy moments and things and took itself seriously the whole movie, I think it could be an 8 or even maybe higher. But I don't know. I think just because of those couple moments and how, just overall flutters between being really serious and a little more goofy, it makes it fall a little lower on a rating, but definitely recommend. I'll definitely give it a legend status. But man, this is a moment I think Dan, like 7.75 would be kind of handy right now, but I don't think I can give it an 8. Maybe I can. I'll go 7.5, leaning towards 8, but 7.5. Yeah. That's our review of The Mask of Zorro. And if you don't like it, you can join that guy's head in a jar.
You can be one of Elena's dads.
Well, this is a fun episode. If you haven't already, check us out on Real Legends Movie Podcast on YouTube and interact with us there. And we'll read your comments and thoughts on this movie or others live on the show. It really helps us grow the show and get it out to the people if you interact with us in any way. So please, even if it's on Spotify, like follow us there. Make sure you're a follower or subscriber there, or YouTube, or even Instagram at real.legends.pod, because the more you interact with us, the more the show gets pushed to more people. So please hit us up on Spotify. Check us out on YouTube. We've got shorts coming out. We're doing some theater review movies this year. We've already done one with Project Hail Mary. And so you don't want to miss any of that action.
Yes, sir.
But until then, we'll see you at the cinema concession stand.
Catch you on flippity flop. Tippity top.
Tippity top.